do that, you can get started. All right, Charmaine. You're going to sing Rachmaninoff today.
Yes, but I'll sing Strauss first. Yeah.
Strauss first to get you warmed up?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you tell us about this Strauss?
Sure. This is called Morgen, and it talks about how tomorrow the sun will shine again. And in my mind, like, what I think the song is like the moment where you first step into heaven and you just see everything and time stands still and you're just in bliss. So, yeah. And I'm also hopeful that this pandemic will end, so it's like a double meaning with this song.
Aww, it's a perfect song for the end of the pandemic. Okay, there we go. Okay, so Morgen. Go for it.
Guten Morgen wird die Sonne wieder scheinen und auf dem Wege den ich gehen werde, wird uns wirklich sehen. Sie wiederholen inmitten dieser sonnenatmenden Erde. Und zu dem Strand den weiten Wagenblauen werden wir schön und langsam niedersteigen. Stumm werden wir uns in die Augen schauen und auf uns sind des Glückes stummes Schweigen.
Great. Good job. How was that for you?
It feels good. It took a while to kind of get the feeling of time standing still. The first few times I would sing it, like I would think that I'm going slow, but then I listened to myself afterward. I'm like, oh, I actually rushed, and so I actually had to work quite hard to make it not rushed. So yeah, I'm still working on it, but yeah.
There's a real fine line in this song for too slow, which makes it sound like get over it already, and then too quick. And I actually kind of prefer it to be just over the side of too quick than just too slow.
Okay.
It's just, especially, I don't know, Nina, like, but I feel like the piano has too much decay. If it goes too slowly, it's a totally different experience with orchestra when you have a solo violin playing.
I do have a solo violin playing.
Oh, you do?
I do. Yes.
Well, that's different too, right? Still, I don't know. What do you think, Nina?
I actually think you're cheating it on the side of too long sometimes.
Yeah.
I think you're overdoing some of the rests now.
Cool. I mean, okay.
I can feel you being very, very careful and diligent about them.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think you've done it, and now you can just like live in that silence instead of just thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is.
Okay.
And then I think that'll solve itself that way.
Okay.
Okay, what do you guys think? Oh, there's only, you are 3.
I think it's so tricky because even before Charmaine started singing, I could feel it in my body the way I was getting. Like, just because you want to be so careful with that music, and it just flows so beautifully and so softly. And I was thinking, how do we start it? Like without holding back the voice. So I think that is the key moment, is the way how you start it without being afraid to break this harmony and ideal environment.
This B-side would be totally like, my tendency would be like getting really heavy, actually.
Yeah, getting heavy.
Probably. So yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think you just should go and just not be afraid of it.
Yeah, well, part of the other thing that's really tricky about this is, yes, you have this long introduction, and then you come in not only in the middle of a phrase but in the middle of a sentence. You start with the word "und."
Yeah.
And right, and there's just so many reasons why this is one of the most excruciating.
And it starts on a G sharp. That drove me nuts when I first learned.
Because it's right in your.
Well, like also like this thing is like I don't think of it as a minor key. It's in G major and it comes in on a sharp 1, and it's like that just kind of threw me off the first couple of times I tried to sing through it. But now it just takes a lot of focus. And okay, fine,
You're
5.
fine. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Or 504.
504. Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever it is. I can't do math right now. But it's a secondary noun.
Yeah.
So you're like, there's a lot of reasons why this is a tricky entrance. Now, what's your story before you come in? Like, what do you see? What's your sensation? What do you want to feel physically in your body?
I just want, like, this is what I think of when I start to sing the song. You know that scene in Kung Fu Panda? When, like, the master's, like, inner peace and then he's in this garden and it's so tranquil and nothing can disturb him. That's what I try to think of in order to, like, to physically, like, embody that.
Right.
Yeah, like, something like that, like, what's my, like, garden and my inner, like, that kind of thing.
This is the first time in the history of ever that the song's been compared to
I feel like this song is like the master, like, I don't know what he is with the little squirrel, like, or like whatever, he is like the master of like Poe. It's just like being inner peace, and I feel like when I first learned through it, I kind of just dive into it as Poe.
Right.
It's just like like crashing left and right. I'm like, no, I have to find this like moment.
Well, yeah.
All this peaceful.
And look, that's a lifetime. It just is.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, I think on a technical level, you're just working really hard with the breath.
Mm-hmm.
And it's getting in your way.
Okay.
And it's kind of preventing you from actually getting the sound that you want, which is, I think what you want is just a simple speak it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be operatic.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
is not going to be like the next song you're going to sing.
Right.
It's the total opposite.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're quite tight under the ribs,
Mm-hmm.
and that it's getting really held in the tummy, and it's kind of holding you back a little bit.
Okay.
So I feel like the last time you sang in class, we focused on the sighing.
Mm-hmm.
Can we go there? Can we go to that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just give us a few bars before coming in. And I want you to come in as if you're speaking. Guten Morgen wird die Sonne wieder scheinen. Just speaking.
Guten Morgen wird die Sonne wieder scheinen.
Good. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, let's try that again. Can you let the first breath drop in low to your back? Let it go to your low back. Let it go right down to your tailbone.
Okay.
And then if it goes there, it's not going to go high on you.
Really.
And hold on to your solar plexus. Okay, try it again. You have a balloon inside your ribs, and it expands as you sing.
Okay.
You're filling it with air as you sing.
Okay.
Rather than trying to squeeze the air out,
Yeah.
you're bringing the air in.
Okay.
Does that make sense? That you have this feeling of opening up rather than pressing it up.
Okay.
Let's do the same thing with balloons. Let's try it one more time. Let's try it. Can we go back it up a little bit and get into that? Where do you want to go from?
Okay.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Really good. That's starting to sound better. Where you feel like you're the image of getting the air to come in, and it's not quite so locked into the ribs anymore. It still is a little bit, but that's a long process of learning. Okay. I would like to do some of that again. And I would like you to listen really closely to the dynamic level and how you want, where you want the stresses and where you don't want stresses. So sometimes what I hear is you do a really beautiful thing on a high note, and then you come back down again, and you kind of go like, and there, I sang it, right? And it sort of falls, and it sort of jolts us, or it puts an emphasis on the wrong syllable. Whereas
Right.
you're trying to put it on the high note, where Strauss has put it.
Yeah.
Uns wie glücklichen, right? We don't want that glücklichen. We want it to feel like it's still, that the language is flowing smoothly.
Okay.
Okay, so does that make sense? So I
Yeah.
want you to just, I don't know, whatever the image is that you want to have for how much weight you're putting on every syllable. Okay, okay, where do you want to go from? The same spot that you started before?
Yes. Oh yes. What of the
Okay, so which word do you want to be emphasized? Wird uns die Glücklichen. Which one?
Glücklichen?
Okay, so then you can't put so much on uns.
Okay. Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
That was good. Okay, now you need to keep going. Okay, it doesn't mean you're gonna kick the last syllable,
Yeah.
but you're gonna keep the sound going. Okay, try that again. The other one. Good. So one of the trickiest things is to get through this line.
Yes.
Sonnenatmende.
I know it's one word, but
One
my
word, right?
breath just will not.
Right.
my
Okay.
breath
So
will
let's
not.
figure it out then.
Okay.
Sonnenatmenden Erden, and we have to keep them together because they're connected.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the first word of that sentence? Just before Sonnenatmenden.
Yeah, sie wieder.
Okay. So can you say it? Say the line for me from there.
Sie wieder einen inmitten dieser sonnenatmenden Erde.
Okay. Can you sing it?
Okay.
Sie wieder einen. That's what I heard.
Oh.
Okay. I mean, I'm being really picky, but I think you're going to have less pressure of air. You're going to press less here.
Okay.
If you're really skating on really smooth ice.
Okay.
Also just
Yeah, you are.
Oh yeah.
That's way too loud.
yeah, you're gliding almost to like to be on vida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job. Okay, so now let's see if we can get that better. So you want to let your air be low. Your breath has to go to your tailbone. It's going quite a bit here to start. And I realized that it went that way because we're thinking about counting. Okay, so let's try that again.
Okay.
Every breath you take, just drop straight down. Has nothing to do with your ribs getting locked up. Okay, so let's talk about that word. Can you say it for me?
Sonnenatmenden Erde.
Okay, now how would you like to say it? Say it the way you want it to be.
Sonnenatmenden Erde.
One more time.
Sonnenatmenden Erde. Okay.
Sonnenatmenden Erde.
Okay.
Try again.
Sonnenatmenden Erde.
Okay, but I feel like you're going Sonnenatmenden.
Oh.
Sonnenatmenden. It's sun-breathed earth. Okay, right? So it's like glowing and warm and glorious, rather than choppy. Try
Right.
again.
Sonnenatmenden Erde.
That's better. Try it one more time.
Sonnenatmenden Erde.
Okay, now if the earth is breathing in the sun, what kind of, show me a physical action of what that would feel like for you.
If the earth was breathing in the sun. Like,
Yeah, just what you just did. This.
okay.
Okay, so it's not, oh my gosh, get through the breath phrase and squish your ribs together. It's actually the total opposite.
Okay.
Okay? Let's just do that. Okay, now what if you were actually breathing in the smell of the sun? Do you know what? It's better.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Like I feel like it's like up
Yes.
the right position. Really.
And do you know what I mean by like the smell of the sun? Like when it's the first day when you can hang your laundry out to dry in the sun, and it smells so good. There is like you cannot bottle that smell.
Right.
That's it, right?
Right.
Yes, it just gets it higher, and it like just has more like looseness to it. Yeah, it makes us inhale, taking a big breath when we hear you sing like that. Okay, try that one more time. So. I love it. Okay, let's back it up. In mitten.
Okay.
Good. Now, can you make the motion of that? The whole thing is one big motion that's opening up. I see a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see it at home, but this a little bit.
Yeah.
So good. Let it like release it up.
Okay.
Rather than powering through. Try it again. Doesn't that have like that bite, that ring in the sound? It loses its like,
Ringing,
it
exactly.
rings
Yeah.
differently. Even with the mask and everything on, it gets like a point in the sound. Yes.
And the sound has lightness, but
Yeah.
still it's powerful. You know?
Light and powerful. Exactly.
No, what I feel also is that you just make every syllable with every vowel kind of let the air in. Because what sometimes happens is you put the accent on one syllable and others don't have enough space there. So you kind of run out of the breath sometimes. Now, what you did was when, well, I was thinking about our yesterday's lesson when sometimes when they're not just same both the vowels and just one vowel doesn't have this, air.
Right.
It just goes out of the tube. So once it goes out, it's really difficult to bring the other vowels back. It requires more effort, right? So you can cause the breath something.
Right. So you get a pressure, right? You get
Yeah.
a pressurized sound, and it goes. The vibrato is going to go.
Yeah. What you did now, you just kind of try to put it up towards the up motion, kind of lift it all up. So once you think that's all the syllables, even the ones that don't have an accent stress in it, it really helps.
So you never need to feel that you have to sing louder. We talked about this last time. You do not need to impress anybody with your voice. It's loud enough. Wow. It really is. So you never need to sing more.
Okay. Yeah, never.
Listen to Pavlina. She gets it. Okay, should we back up that one more time? Okay, so the syllables are exactly the way you want to shape them as far as the poetry goes, and you want to have that sense of lifting up the breath line and the musical line like this, and then you release it. Okay? Where do we want to start? I know. We want it to feel secure, right?
Yeah.
Performance, you don't want to be pushing the dirt. Let's back it up a little bit.
Okay.
So, every breath you take, release it.
Okay.
Release it. You're grabbing a little bit, and you're holding on a little bit, and I think that is also not allowing you to get enough breath.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay.
So, every single breath you take, let it go. So, if you need more time to let that happen, right now, we're just going to stop. Let the breath go low, and then you can come in again. So, it's going to be all wonky timing. It's okay. Where should we go from? Same spot?
Same spot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In what Aufstehen or Sie wieder? Or we just were?
Yeah, let's do in vida.
Okay.
Okay, so can you see yourself there? I know it's horrible to see yourself on the screen.
Yes.
And I don't know if you can, but can you see a little bit of this?
Oh, okay.
A little bit of this going, actually letting down a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want you to feel like you're very much going this way.
Mm-hmm.
You get a little bit more into your shoulder blades.
Okay.
I mean, I do not say this to everyone. Some of you have heard the total opposite this week. So just have the sensation that these are going down and out.
Okay.
Down and out as you sing. Can we try that? I don't know if it's going to work. We'll try it.
Okay.
Great. Spread your wings. Now you're just going to come right out of the line this time. Okay, good. Can you speak this last line on pitch?
Okay.
Stum. Just speak it on pitch. What's the pitch version? Stum. Speaking, not singing.
Okay.
Try it.
felt like I focus less on the note and more on the words
Yes.
and what they mean. And
Hallelujah. This is not about singing an aria at the end.
Mhm.
Stumm, we were voiceless, or we had no, like, we were dumbstruck, whatever the word is. It's just, there's nothing, it's not about singing in this moment, yeah?
Yeah.
So wherever you want to take a breath, remember that taking the breath is part of this too. You can totally take, it has to be a dramatic breath.
Right.
It doesn't have to be like,
Yeah.
It's not about being ridiculous, but it is about what kind of breath would you take if you were actually in this moment.
Right.
Can't believe it. You need it. Okay, can we try it again?
Okay.
Sturm. Okay. I don't think it needs to be sung much more than that.
Sturm, werden wir uns in die Augen schauen und auf uns sind des Sturmes Schweigen.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of places where you don't need to take such a big breath.
Right.
Schweigen, you're singing one word, you don't need that much of a breath. No, I'm wondering about the breath. I'm having a moment, I can't remember how this goes. Und auf uns singt. Can you do und auf uns singt des Glückliches? What's the reason behind that breath being after or before? Before the word singt. No, what were you doing? You're doing it after.
Yeah, I think I'll try it before. I mean, it's just how I learned it before, but now I'm like, I'm gonna try it.
Well, it makes more sense to me. Und auf uns singt des Glückes. To me, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Also, just musically, it makes more sense to take a breath after a long note than after a short note.
Right.
Right? So you've got the half note, take the breath. Yeah, can we try it?
From Sturm? Oh,
Yeah, Sturm. And Sturm. Can you give it a long M as if you're like, you can't talk anymore?
Okay. Sturm, werden wir uns in die Augen schauen und auf uns singt des Glückes Sturmes Schweigen.
Good. Now, you're doing this. I can feel it right there.
Okay. From
That was really good.
Thank you.
Yes, I like it. Okay, try it one more time. One, two, four. Release it, release it. And actually, the last time you took the breath, but you didn't actually. You stopped, but then you went. It was just a little hiccup. Let your belly go. Release. Fabulous.
Thank you.
That was different, hey? It was a perfect setup for the next thing. Great. Okay, how do you feel about that song now?
Good.
A little better?
Yeah, more calm.
Yeah. What's before this? What do you sing right before this?
I sing Swipe.
Swaggle.
Yes.
Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
So you'll get a lot of adrenaline out
Yes.
in that song,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to have some sort of message to tell yourself to let things go during that long introduction.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually really hard to even remember to come in.
Right. Yes.
I shouldn't have said that.
It's
I don't
actually
want that to be in
true. I actually kind of already knew that. It's hard to come in because
Well, it's
there's so many
well, you know, you just if you're just listening to the music, you sort of just
yeah, I just lose
there.
myself.
It's not obvious.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even though you know when to come in, you're like, oh, whoops, that was so pretty, I forgot to come in.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the other song.
Oh, can I get a sip of water?
Please, yes. It's already 1:40. All right, Spring Waters. How are you feeling about this one, Nina?
Great.
Good.
Love playing this thing.
Well, I would say me too, but I love singing this. As someone who knows how to play it.
It's a time appropriate song right now.
Yay!
Yes.
Just sing.
I'll just do it. Yeah. You shall follow its name. Over hills is nice and yacht. It would its own breath. It reached in the set. This night yacht. This night yacht. Thank you. I'm sorry about the stuff that happened.
Ah. There's always gonna be stuff that happens. What happened?
Oh, just like, you know, if you like, in spite of me running out the Russian stuff over and over again, of course there was some word that kind of went.
Nobody cares.
And
Okay,
Nobody
you
cares
still
in this
say it.
song. Seriously.
No one cares. You still sang. You still kept singing. You still like sang the notes. Doesn't matter.
Thank you. It's just like, it's good to know because I have sung this with a pianist before, but it was on book, but it's my first time singing it off
Right.
book, and I kind of challenged myself to do that since it's recital time in 2 weeks.
Good job. Good for you.
Thank you.
Great. Okay.
I need help with that flat, please. I mean the A sharp. It's a
You
really.
know what?
You can breathe before it, girl.
Oh yeah, that is.
I was surprised. I thought you were gonna take like time to breathe and set it up, and then you just did it. No, you couldn't.
Yeah.
Help yourself here.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I also think you can help yourself a lot in this song by going with the flow.
Okay.
More, just go.
Yeah, I was wondering how you practice this. Like, have you been practicing this with recording at all?
No, I practice it just like conducting myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is great,
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
but now it needs to go.
Yeah,
Faster.
I need to go.
And it needs to be like water rushing over rocks and breaking through ice and like going and going and going and like big water just going like crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's come over. Can you go stand over there? And Nina's gonna play it for you.
Here?
The way she wants to play it. And you're gonna watch her play it.
Okay.
Okay? Here, we'll put this over onto Nina. Big solo moment.
Pressure or anything. I'm gonna practice more.
No, but this is okay, but it's not we're gonna be about wrong notes, but about flow. Okay, so let's just so you can do the song in your mind,
Okay.
but go in your mind with Nina.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Yay! Isn't that the most joyful music you've ever heard?
Yeah.
I mean, people always say, "Oh, Rachmaninoff, it's so serious," and then you hear this song, you're like, not in a million years. It's so great. Okay, what did you learn from that?
Flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you hear how the phrases like they go over each other?
Yeah.
And when you're finishing a line, it's already partway through another phrase in the piano, and it's doing all these amazing little intricate things, and it's so vivid. The imagery is so vivid, and it just flies. Except for that little soft moment in the middle. It's just like there's just this little trickling brook in the bottom of the valley, and then we go right back into it again.
Right. Yes.
Okay. So that was really good to ask your pianist to do that for you. Just play this piece for me so I can hear what you're doing. Help me. Because it's just, you learn so much from it, especially in the stuff which is piano solo, really.
Mm-hmm.
Who are we kidding? We're Sarah's decoration. Yeah, you learn a lot from it. I mean, you're not going to learn a lot from hearing a Bellini aria played in the piano without voice part, but you will in this. Okay, so I'm going to start it again. Okay. Just there. I feel like it's triplets in the piano.
Yeah.
Do not hold her back.
Okay. Okay.
Right? Don't hold her back. Keep going.
No right till the top of the third page.
Yeah. Let's go from there. Top of measure 9. Okay, let's go from where you wanted to start. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Marcel.
Okay.
Sorry. That's better. That's better. Do you feel that? Now it's going.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Now you're not being held back. The only thing that held you back was high notes. You were like, oh shoot, it's not going to be good. And then it was fine, but it could have been better.
Yeah.
Okay. Woo! Let's go for measure 12.
Oh, I need a second. Is it with the
It's this right here.
Oh
You have to let that downbeat be your springboard.
no! Okay.
You don't start on your note. You start on the downbeat.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. emotion is getting a lot more. Okay, now one of the hardest things
Yes.
is to remember or to hold the horses back on this last bit, right?
Yeah.
And the tendency is to go on the next thing. You can't.
Okay.
You can't yet. You got a whole page.
Okay.
And I know it says your last note is fortissimo.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, whatever that means, but you just have to be really careful not to give it all away by bar 2 of that section.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's way more exciting when it gets held back, I think, because we're like, oh, here it comes, here it comes, it's not here yet. It's coming, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. And remember, it's andante there, and then it's a cellerando.
Right.
This is one cellerando, only starts there. And remember, it's a cellerando, it's not subito faster.
Okay, yeah.
And then you have to keep the energy going on this note.
Okay.
And then stop singing, then it has to go. Because if you go,
Right.
doesn't mean anything.
Right.
We don't hear you. Too bad. There's too many notes in the piano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at that high note.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I get the feeling that you're kind of coming up a little bit instead of feeling like you're in the whole thing. Okay, so what are... Spring is coming. We are the heralds of spring. So you're a bird.
Yeah.
She sent us She sent us ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are a chickadee or whatever. I'm gonna just say chickadees. I don't know about any birds in Russia. Do you have chickadees in Russia? Chickadees, those little black birds with the little black cap, the little black head, and they're like teeny tiny, and they go tickadee-dee-dee-dee.
In like at home, like my mom always looks like when the swallows get there.
Right.
That's the big sign that the snow is melting because
Right.
there's going to be bugs and they're going to be able to
Yeah, and the robin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Rabbits and swallows.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so anyway, you're a bird that can sing. Hi, let's do that whole thing, okay?
Yeah.
So it's not a heavy A sharp.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a flute one, and we'll hear you over top of this. You don't have to worry about singing loudly because you're already singing high.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So I want you to say, okay, so when you get to it's one line. You're doing a little bit of this and then a little bit of scary step away when you get to the A sharp. So you have to go in and
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Let's go from the top of the page.
The first one or the second?
The first one.
Okay.
Give you the part.
Yeah, because that was part of the line, right? And that's not just, you're not just popping it out at the last minute. Great. Let's do it one more time.
Okay.
Yeah, you were just one beat behind her at the very end. Great.
I feel like you actually slow down.
I do
In
too.
like the 2 bars before the end. And yum ba-bum.
That's the
You
dotted
drag
note
right
is where I
there.
feel like you
That's
stop.
Yeah, it's got some push ahead there.
Okay.
Let me get a little second before you go to the top.
Okay. Yeah.
Yum, pa-pa. I think it's like the only dotted.
Yeah, I think
Well, there's
so.
a few dotted things.
I guess there are others.
But they're like, yes, no, I hate you. Oh, they're just like
Yeah.
the gentle one. But that one's like a super energetic one. Okay. Good. Can you do that ending one more time? Sure. Yeah. Well done. Does that help?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Sounds really good.
Thank you.
Okay, let's take a little break.